everybody, and welcome to Popcorn Dogs, your favorite podcast about True Detective. It's just about True Detective Season 1 today. And, of course, other movies and television and beers, such as the delicious Miller High Life or Muskego Light from Eagle Park Brewing. My name is Brad. Excited to be talking about more True Detective today.
My name is Tyler. You can call me Crash.
Oh, yeah?
My code name Crash.
You were crashing on couches a long time ago, were you not?
Yes, I was. I did a little couch surfing.
Did you actually use the website?
No, just word of mouth.
I did.
The couch. Well, yeah, but you traveled more than I did.
Yes, I would never couch surf in America. That's some sketchy, weird shit.
Yeah, you've hitchhiked too, right?
Yep.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't hitchhike.
Fun in New Zealand, scary in Hawaii. First time seeing a meth pipe.
Oh, really?
We're part of the Hair of the Dogcast Network. Make sure to check out all of the other amazing shows. And yes, we're continuing our coverage of True Detective today. We're on episode number 3, The Locked Room.
You think man can love 2 women at once?
I don't think that man can love.
I think we caught a break in the case, boss.
I thought you were handing that off.
So Cole's trying to keep it from the task force.
You ever think he tried to push things where he wanted them to go?
I found another girl.
Hey, what the hell do you think you're doing at my house when I'm not here?
All your life, all your love, all your hate, all your memory was all a dream. And like a lot of dreams, there's a monster at the end of it.
We start off at the tent ministry. Everyone's, favorite place to be.
Hell yeah, brother.
A week after discovering the burnt church, Russ and Marty observe a Friends of Christ revival service, now held in a church tent. Rust is very excited to be watching this. He doesn't have any controversial views on religion. They kind of hang out and talk about how good it is to be in a community.
Yeah, it's like Rust kind of... What is it? It's like him at an aquarium, essentially. Like he's watching the fish.
Except he hates fish, dude.
Yes.
Rust opens up the casual conversation. What do you think the average IQ of the group is?
Which, I mean, valid point. There's a joke to be made about the South and religion there.
Yeah, I'm someone who I'm not super religious myself, but I think religion is fine, and I think it has a definite. It can have a very good role in many people's lives, and it can have a very negative role in some people's lives as well.
Yeah, and for some people who have felt the negative effects of religion, it hits them like a freight train a lot of times, and those are the people that I know of that are like the most critical of it, oftentimes. So it makes me think what happened to Rust.
I can just imagine a priest coming up to him after his daughter died and said, "This is all part of God's plan," and I could just see Rust seething.
Yeah. He's got some serious disdain for religion, specifically.
I have, my mother, she was a very religious person, and there are very good Christians, so I don't want anyone to think we are outright against God, but I side with Rust a little bit sometimes. He also says, "I see a propensity for obesity, poverty, a yen for fairy tales. Folks putting what few bucks they do have into little wicker baskets being passed around. I think it's safe to say nobody's going to be splitting the atom here, Marty."
Which is just a good line. Like, that's funny.
It's funny. I can also see, like, Marty's like, come on, man.
Like, they're gathering. They're part of a community.
I also think, like, these righteous gemstones style preachers, and to me, I can see the money grubbers from a mile away, and this is a taking advantage of a community type scenario.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Hart then makes a case for religion being for the community and helps keep people from doing bad things. And Rust, he's just like, he must have one-liners just lined up in his back pocket because he's just fucking ready. If the only thing keeping a person decent is the expectation of divine reward, then brother, that person is a piece of shit.
That is...
Agree.
100% agree. And I think that is my most remembered line from every time I've watched this show. That line always kind of stuck out to me. I think it's a line a lot of people quote. Like, if people have seen this show, that's usually the part they cherry pick. Because it is an excellent point. And we can all agree with that statement.
It's true. If the only thing that makes someone be moral and a good member of society is fear of divine retribution or reward, there are better reasons to be a good person. You don't need an excuse. Just be a good person.
Yeah. I mean, do to others as you would have done to you.
Well, Russ then calms down and, oh, wait, no. Oh, here the note says he continues in dismantling religion.
Yeah, he goes kind of scorched earth.
Transference of fear and self-loathing to an authoritarian vessel. It's catharsis. He absorbs their dread with his narrative. Because of this, he's effective at proportion to the amount of certainty he can project. Certain linguistic anthropologists think that religion is a language virus that rewrites pathways in the brain, dulls critical thinking. I would argue some of the ways that Trump speaks kind of has the same effect on people. People are looking for validation. They're looking for someone to tell them they're right and other people are wrong. And who doesn't want to be forgiven? I would love it if forgiveness was easy. If I could just find some way to find forgiveness instead of going through the process myself, it'd be a lot easier.
Yeah. I think he nails it too. Especially in the South, I feel like religion is a lot more commonplace there. It definitely holds a stronger like family value. Like your family gets a lot more upset if you're not religious, more so than I've seen around here. I know I'm not saying that the North isn't religious, but specifically in the South and in the 90s, like everybody and their sister is going to be religious, and it is for some people a crutch that they lean on.
And I think church going in general, none of my friends outside of work that I know of go to church. I'm not saying they don't. I'm saying that they keep it to themselves, and it's something like that's for them, and that's great. But when I go to work, there's definitely on the job site a lot more people talking about went to church on Sunday, this and that. I don't know. It just doesn't seem to be as high priority or a point of pride in our generation.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time somebody who was my age was like, yeah, I went to church. Like, that's not a sentence I've heard.
Well, you used to say that, but it just meant the bar.
Yeah. Well, the bar was called the church.
What was that dive bar you used to go to at Blackbird?
Finks?
Finks.
I was at Finks 2 nights ago.
You were a pastor there, dude.
Oh, yeah. Dude, they gave me control of the TV one night. That's how you know you made it.
Hart says, well, I don't use up $10 words as much as you, but for a guy who sees no point in existence, you sure fret about it an awful lot, and you still sound panicked. Valid? And Russ responds, at least I'm not racing to a red light.
Dude, it's like these two just chipping back and forth at each other, too, is so pleasant to watch, because it's like every guy, like even Marty, even though he doesn't throw around those $10 words, he's still dissecting Rust a little bit. Like this entire conversation, he keeps bringing up, like, you know, you pretend not to care about this, but you sure do fucking talk about it a lot.
It just admit it, you're thinking about it. You know what would be really weird is if Marty called him out and Russ just laughed and said, fuck you. But Russ doesn't laugh. He is morbidly serious about this shit. Yeah, I don't think he laughs once in the season.
I think he does. No, I don't think he does.
I don't think he does. Oh, wait, he chuckles when he's on his date when they're like, she's perfect for you. And he doesn't even chuckle, then he smiles, which is one of the only times you see him smile. Interesting.
Yeah, so they get done dissecting their the church here, and they're going to go speak with the minister, Shea Wiggum. I did not know this man's name, but you know who this guy is. He's in Boardwalk Empire, Mission Impossible, Vice Principals, and Kong Skull Island. He's also like the yacht driver. The yacht. What is the person who drives a yacht? What do you call them?
A captain?
The captain of the yacht from Wolf of Wall Street.
He is an actor you've seen everywhere. He's just got a good face, good character actor. He's great in this role.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. He's a really good like secondary character, I feel.
Yeah.
He's great in Boardwalk Empire. They say they might recognize the girl from a while back. The minister says he came up with Billy Tuttle, so he's name dropping. That would be the mayor's cousin, or that is the mayor.
The governor's cousin.
Governor's cousin.
Yes.
Billy Tuttle.
Billy Lee Tuttle. He is like the head of the ministry.
And it's Ed Tuttle?
Cousin Eddie.
Cousin Eddie.
Yeah, you'll remember it now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Says he came up with Tuttle. A woman and teens say they saw Dora Lange with a tall man with scars around his face. They say he was strange and that they left together. They mentioned like his jaw area was like shiny, is how she says it.
And I think this is the first time we've heard that.
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, drawing of the spaghetti monster has a fucked up chin.
But at this point, if a kid said a spaghetti monster, I wouldn't necessarily assume scarring, maybe. But this is like...
He was shiny. And then is it Marty that is immediately like burns? Like he's trying to figure out what she means by that.
Yeah.
Hart and Cohle then eat bami and discuss the tenuous link from Dora Lange to Marie Fontenot.
I like that they go to some roadside banh mi in rural Louisiana.
It is kind of a bold play.
It's a bold play.
They just chug in Pepto-Bismol after this.
I love banh mi.
I mean, it's great, but yeah, no, it's cool to see them like stop. Like they're not going to a restaurant. Like they're literally sitting on a picnic table.
Roadside banh mi in Louisiana.
Cohle thinks someone missed something somewhere, and he wants to look through all missing persons over the last 5 years, but Hart thinks he has tunnel vision, and they've brought this up before. Hart has brought it up to Cohle that he narrows his vision and jumps to conclusions. And then we have a nice little exchange here where Cohle says, "You're obsessive too, just not about the job." To which Hart replies, "Not me, brother. I keep things even, separate. Like the way I can have just one beer without needing 20.
It's like, says the man I haven't ever seen not drinking like an asshole.
Hart will say he projects the version of himself that he wants out there, and he consistently contradicts that version of himself.
Yep.
Which is, it's just a pleasure to watch. It's like you're watching the man implode, and it's sad.
He knows what's right for him. He even mentions later in the show is like the answer sometimes the answer just right under your nose the whole time. It's like, yeah, well, you've been fucking explaining the right answers the whole time, but you can't do it.
The detective's curse.
Yes.
Cohle then says people incapable of guilt usually do have a good time, which is a very subtle jab, but like, yeah, mark one up for Cohle there.
That's a big one for Cohle.
Yeah.
People incapable of guilt usually do have a good time.
That's pretty pointed. And to which Hart replies, I try not to be too hard on myself. So he's not taking the bait. He's not going to get into an argument with Cohle here. Cohle says that's real big of you. And then
I'm not too hard on myself. Yeah, it's real big on you.
And then the conversation ends with Cohle or Marty saying something to the effect of like, you don't experience doubt. Like I doubt that you experienced. I've never heard you say doubt or something like
denial.
that.
He's talking about denial.
And then Cohle just gets up and he's like, doubt it. And gets in the car.
I doubt that.
Because they put out an APB on tall men with facial scarring and a history of sexual deviancy.
I like that they have to get their ribbing on each other out. They have a little back and forth, but then Marty gets up and just says, all right, APB, tall dude, scars. And Cole's like, all right, yep.
Yeah.
They're both like kind of having these debates with each other about what they think is the right thing and the moral thing. But in the background, they're always like kind of really on the same page with like a lot of the detective stuff, which I do appreciate.
Yeah, because at this point, they've been working the Dora Lange case for a couple weeks, I think it is. And and as we'll see as the show goes on, especially in like episode 4 and 5, I mean, this is a way that they bond, too. It's like they're not going to sit there and open up their feelings. So jabbing at each other and jibbing and chirping is a kind of a bonding mechanism, I think, for them.
I remember watching a interview with these two, and they're goofing off, and Harrelson's like, when you're acting and you're a partner, you kind of go back and forth. You give him something, they give you something back. I would give him a performance, and he would just give me the blankest fucking wall ever. And McConaughey just laughing at it. Because it's hard when someone doesn't respond to anything you're saying. I can't imagine playing, it's playing baseball by yourself. It's tough sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, Russ sits with Maggie drinking some iced tea in Marty's home. And might I say, McConaughey's wearing a white tank top, and he's looking like a man.
Yeah, he's got some muscles on muscles. He's a little dirty.
If I came home and McConaughey was in that tank top drinking iced tea with my wife after mowing my lawn, I might be a little concerned. I'd be like, I'd want to bang him. Like, I see what you're up to. Like, you don't think this is a little weird?
I am perturbed, let's say.
This is odd. And they're discussing about how people can move forward. And he sees Hart's daughters, and you can tell he kind of finds some peace in that. And Maggie is discussing setting Rust up with a friend, and he makes a comment like, maybe a doctor, give me some good drugs. But he's having a nice conversation, and he's amicable. Like, he enjoys spending time there.
Yeah, and Maggie has a vested interest in Cole because that's Marty's partner, and if shit's ever going to hit the fan, that's the guy that's watching your husband's back. The father of your children.
Yeah.
So she wants to have a relationship with Cole so that she knows that her husband is safe. He's got his back, but at the same time, she genuinely cares about this man too, because she wants to help him move through the trauma. She's constantly trying to set him up,
and she can tell, like,
this man needs a woman.
He needs someone to talk to, and he's not getting that anywhere else. Hart comes home. Apparently, Russ borrowed the mower. He's like, just return it. Just mow the lawn. Return the favor. And Hart walks him out. And Marty is, I think, understandably upset. He doesn't need to be this upset.
No, and it's his own insecurities about his affair too.
Well, and Carly made a point. She's like, I think Russ was trying to stir some shit with that one. I mean, he cares about Maggie. He's like, she's a good woman, and you're fucking around. So Carly's like, I think he was trying to just stir the pot a little bit.
Yeah, because even rewatching this episode recently, Cole's not an idiot. He knows mowing the lawn is a bad look. He knows that it's going to piss off Marty. And then he knows Marty's going to be pissed if he comes in and sees him talking to his wife.
To me, if he hadn't mowed the lawn and he was just having a glass of iced tea, I think Marty might have been a little more chill about that. The mowing the lawn thing, it's another man taking care of your property. I couldn't explain it. If I saw some other man mowing my lawn, it would upset me. Like,
that's my lawn.
That's my man card you're just revoking. Or if Carly she likes mowing the lawn too. If she wants to, that's great. But if somebody else mows our lawn, I'm like, I wouldn't get as upset as him, but you got to know what you're doing. It's like Marcellus Wallace is like, he rubbed his wife's feet in Pulp Fiction, and Marcellus Wallace threw a guy out the window. You got to know rubbing a wife's someone's foot.
It's going to put you over the line.
Yeah. I think they get a little upset about it, but later on, Marty's sitting with his family, and then clearly there's a discussion that needs to happen. Apparently, Audrey has drawn some illicit pictures of a man and woman having sex in one of her journals.
Uh-oh.
And Maggie and Marty want to know why, and they say that it's ugly. And for them to be surprised is, I think, surprising to me that they're surprised, because he talks about this case, this horrible stuff. And, kids talk. Kids hear stuff. She said her friends at school thought it was funny and dared her to do it. And Maggie explains to him that girls always know before boys. Why is that? Because they have to.
Such a sad line.
Such a true and horrible, sad line. World we live in. Pedophile rings are a real thing. She also says if Marty might be around more, it would be better for all of them. And he looks away. Oh, the case. Oh, the case. It's like, look your wife in the fucking eye, dude. And he apologizes, which, what are you apologizing for? He says everything except the truth. She asks him, what have you been doing? And he gives the most work with 7 question marks at the end of it.
Yeah, he's not convincing. Ugh. He does reach into his soul a little bit here and starts complaining about a midlife crisis oncoming, about how he can see 40 and he feels like Wile E. Coyote. And I do think this is him being honest about his feelings, but it is a convenient cover-up to what he should really be apologizing for. Yeah, he's being a little manipulative here.
Extremely. And, in the school of Walter White, it's using your own emotions to manipulate other people. It's a real dick move. But she convinces herself to keep trusting him.
Yeah. And then we move to back to the investigation here. And we have, following up on the tall man sex offenders, they interviewed a young man who would break into people's homes, and he would rub one out before he left. It's a very weird fetish.
Yep, that is a weird one. It makes me want to watch Mindhunter again. I can just hear them like trying to explain. Apparently, something has to happen.
Yeah.
And he must wank it in your living room before he leaves your house.
It's the only way he can get off, which is a shame. He's got to commit a B&E every time he wants to bust a load. That's sad.
Wow.
Yeah.
When I grew up, we didn't even have computers.
That would be a curse.
Yeah. Maybe that explains it.
This is where we're going to start building the narrative that Rust has the ability to close and get confessions out of people. He gets assists a lot, and that comes into play later. But this is where we really get to see that he can give a cathartic narrative into the interrogation room, and he makes this guy like he's offering forgiveness in the guise of getting a confession, essentially.
He is 1-to-1 doing what the preacher was doing in the opening scene.
Yeah, he is.
He compares it to it multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2012 Rust begins cutting the tops off of Lone Star cans, and we're all confused by this.
He's going to pull a knife out and start fucking around with it?
Yeah, and cans are sharp, man. I ripped the top off of one of Tallboy PBR like 2 months ago and sliced my finger. Why I ripped the top off, not important.
Yeah.
But they're sharp, so this is dangerous. Plus, you're interrogating a man who just pulls out a knife.
Yep.
He also is a trained killer, so...
And he's smoking cigarettes indoors and drinking a six-pack of Tall Boys.
Yeah. Russ says he was never in a room longer than 2 minutes without knowing if somebody was guilty, which I tend to believe him, but it could also just be a load of shit, because... He sees the killer at some point. He sees the killer in the next episode. And doesn't
This
know it's him.
episode, I think.
Is it this episode?
Either way, he's not for 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
And he also, when he knows he's trying to suspect guilt of somebody instead of just having a conversation with someone, I don't know. Yeah.
Then we get to Longhorns, which might be one of my favorite scenes in the entirety of the show.
Ooh, this one's a tough one.
Yeah, it is. So I was on pins and needles. I know what's going to happen. It still makes me uncomfortable. Maggie, Marty, and Rust and a young woman meet up for a blind date. Maggie is setting up Rust. This woman takes one look at Rust as he walks up, and she's talking about, like, I don't want another cop. He better not be a drunk. The last one threw up in my lap. And Marty's like, this one's different. And then Rust walks up, and she's immediately down to clown. She's like, oh, hello.
And then they cut to another scene. He's describing, like, synesthesia, I think, is it? Where, like...
You can taste color.
Where some of his senses are a little, like, warped. And she is like, just someone talking intelligently about anything is attractive.
Yeah, and he's a very intelligent man. She makes the comment like, so if something feels good to you, does it feel like double good? And even Maggie kind of shoots her a look like, girl, you naughty.
It's like, shit.
Yeah, she's definitely got the hots for Russ, but who wouldn't?
Right.
Yeah. Marty sees Lisa, and this is where it all goes fucking sideways, because he sees Lisa with another man, and the immaturity of Marty in this scene is astounding.
Yeah.
You would think that he would be able to control his emotions and not cause a scene, but he's going to cause a little bit of a scene.
With his wife.
Yes.
In the fucking bar.
Yeah. So he pours out the last of the pitcher, and he's like, I'm going to go get another one. And Maggie's like, the waitress will bring it by. And he's like, why wait? And he walks right by Lisa, and he even gives her like a head nod, like, to the bar.
Yeah.
He gets 2 shots of rum, and he's, trying to talk to her like, so you gonna go home with this guy? Is that your guy? Is this your way of like talking divorce? And she's like, I don't want to marry you, dude. Like, no. And like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
She's on a date, and he's like, so you throwing it in my face? You gonna go fuck that guy? And she's like, are you gonna fuck your wife tonight? Like,
and he doesn't have a response.
No, because he views Lisa like property. Women are kind of possessions for him.
Scuzzy.
Yes. So then he has to take both shots because she won't take a shot with him. And it's very awkward because his wife is in the same building, and he's like talking to this girl about their affair, and it just makes me really uncomfortable.
And Rust is sitting there at the table. You can tell when someone's being weird. The fact that Marty thinks he can play it off at all it speaks to how immature and unrealistic he is about the situation. I'm sure the moment Marty perks up and looks over,
Russ notices.
Tuned in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I don't know what Marty's thinking here. Maybe he had a little bit too much to drink and he's getting a little too comfortable, but
He's emotional.
yeah, he cannot fathom that she's going to be with another dude.
How dare his girlfriend interrupt his time with his wife?
God damn it.
It's just rude.
It's so rude. Yeah, but it's just downhill from here then.
Yeah. So a drunken Marty is pounding on Lisa's door, and she tells him, "Get the fuck away! You can't come in." And he barges in the door. Then there's a man in her bed. He picks him up and throws him through the closet door.
I'm sorry, man. She said she was single, and then just yeets him right through the door.
And he starts demanding, Did she suck your dick? Did she suck your dick? And it's like, whoa.
You need to calm down, brother.
He pulls his badge out and he's holding it in the dude's face, threatening to fuck him up, use the law to fuck his life up. Did she suck your dick? And I've never seen like a more terrifying, fucked up scenario.
Yeah. And
This is traumatic as shit for Lisa, for this man. And I'm sure 10 years from now, Marty will remember this and cringe every time he thinks about it.
yeah, because when he asks, did she suck your dick? The dude says like
A little.
a little bit. And then he gets up and he's like, sorry, I had to fuck you up there, bud. Like Marty immediately is like, all right.
He says, I'm not a psycho. Says the fucking psycho.
I think at one point he's like, I will send you to prison and they will use your face as a condom. I think is along the lines of what he tells this man.
Yeah.
That's psychotic. That's psychotic behavior.
It's horrible. And she's freaking out. In 2012, Marty says, I think Russ needed a family. It's boundaries. Boundaries are good.
Pot calling the kettle black here.
Yeah.
It's kind of the irony of Marty's entire character up to this point is he was just he constantly is telling revisionist history. Like he's constantly telling, he can't get out of his own way.
It's funny because just earlier he was talking about denial with Cole.
Yeah.
Maggie calls Russ and asks if he knows where Marty is. And Rust is a partner.
Yeah.
He says, I don't know. He's apparently one of the other guys called Marty and said there was a tip and he had to go look into it. And Russ said that guy wouldn't tell me if it was true.
That guy
Russ
fucking
knows
hates
he's
me.
lying though.
Yeah.
And then Maggie says something about, did you bring her home? And he's like, no, I walked her right to the door. And she kind of encourages him. You can tell in another life she could see herself caring for Rust.
Yeah.
You can tell there's a little bit of her curious about this man as well. And he's like, go to sleep. Just fucking leave me alone.
Marty will be home soon. Go to bed.
And much later on in the show, he even talks about like, I'm done lying. Like, when you want me to lie to you to convince yourself things are okay, I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
He knows what she's doing.
We go back to the investigation now, and Russ continues looking at old cases and has found another girl. A few years ago, a girl was pulled out of a river, Rianne Olivier.
Some Cajun French stuff.
The file says death was accidental and that she drowned, but she was covered in suspicious lacerations, positive for meth and LSD like Dora Lange was. And not only that, she has the marking on her back, the little spiral thing.
Yes. He was looking through tons of old cases for missing women, and he was just like trying to find anything.
Yeah, because he couldn't sleep.
And until the spiral, Marty's like, conjecture, what do you got here, man? And then he sees a spiral. He's like, fuck.
This guy's right. Shit. Marty convinces Quesada to give them 2 days to look into this. As they drive, Hart says, you think a man can love two women at once?
And I can just imagine Cole like, don't piss him off. Don't piss him off.
And this is the first time that I think we've seen Russ driving, because Marty's always driving.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, I think a little bit of a power dynamic for the storytelling devices here.
And also, I'm sure Hart showed up way more weird and hungover than usual that day. I'm sure he went home, poured half a bottle of whiskey into one glass.
Yeah.
Slept on the chair.
When he comes in, they're like, third night in a row, you going for a new record? Because he looks like shit when he gets to work.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so Hart's contemplating if a man can love two women at once, and Cole's like, I don't think a man can love at all, because of course that's what Cole would say. Rust would say.
Yeah, Marty should know that the validation he is looking for is not going to come from this man.
Rhiann's grandpa on her leaving years ago, because they find him, he's like this crabber dude, and he seems like the nicest fucking guy in the world.
Yeah, even Marty's like, he reminded me a little bit of Rust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's pretty matter of fact. Yeah, everybody, when they ask where she ran off to.
If you want to attempt a southern accent,
it's
Cajun accent, it's tough.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody think they gonna be something they not. Everybody got this big plan. She took up with that Reggie Ledoux fella. Older boy. Shit family. Run off with him.
Pretty good.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't too
pretty
Cajun.
good.
I didn't want to get like offensive with
That
it.
Reggie Ledoux fella.
That Reggie Ledoux. Yeah, you just got to channel your inner like Bobby Boucher.
You know, I think it's conflated with, that accent is unfortunately conflated with a lack of intelligence, which is 100% not the case. That's just the way that they talk down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like a French accent doesn't mean you have good taste in wine. It just means you sound good when you say shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy it's another one of those performances like we talked about in the last episode where it's like, how do you find somebody that's just so Louisiana?
Yeah.
That's never been in anything else to my knowledge. It's like, did they just grab some dude off the street and they're like, talk just like that? Read these words.
And at some point he even starts asking, he's like, they said she drowned.
Why are you bringing this up?
He's like, we're just looking into just asking about a man she might have been with.
Yeah, so now we get the name Reggie Ledoux, and he skipped parole. He makes meth, and apparently he's very good at it. He's like a little Walter White situation going on here. The episode ends with Reggie Ledoux's house, and one of the best shots of the entire series is this terrifying man walking in whitey-tighties with a gas mask.
Oh, man.
I remember the first time I saw this episode, I could not wait for the next episode.
And they were talking something about like there's a monster at the end of it or something like that is the end of the end line. And yeah, giant man carrying a fucking machete in his tighty whities wearing that long weird gas mask in front of some meth
mansion.
It
is kind of a meth mansion. It's got like 2 stories and there's multiple like things on the property.
It's very cobbled together though.
Yeah.
And yes, this is only episode 3, and I remember being so fucking jacked like all week talking about it with my buddy, and couldn't be more anticipating.
Yeah, and this show, even through 3 episodes, is not losing any steam. It is just getting better and better.
I need to find our new Patreon executive producer. Patreon. All right. Well, that's going to conclude our episode 3 coverage for True Detective. If this is on the public feed, and you want access to the rest of these episodes, if you want access to other content well in advance, check out patreon.com/hairthedogcast. A lot of amazing perks and shows on our network. Special thanks to Patreon executive producers Phil Wright, Brian Ward, Ryan Christianick, Kip Kipper, Jordan Hoff, Phil Just Red Bear Phil, thanks Tyler, Justin Melly, Just Sonic, Spetsnaz, Ejot, Tony Pepperoni, BG, Andy Bongwater, and Alex Type 1 Error.
Welcome.
Whatever your error code is, I hope it is rectified in a timely fashion. And we will be back next time to discuss episode 4 of True Detective.
Y'all stay safe out there now. Watch out for that Reggie Ledoux.
That Tyler, man, he was drinking the beers, like a lot of beers at one time.
Oh, that boy never been so hungover in his life.
Oh, it was 4 a.m. and he was at the bar. He was playing the TV. We'll see you next time.